episodes in their movies. Disney does. Yes, and this is all a secret language for the Illuminati to communicate with each other. I mean, that's what it is. Just like the gangs have their graffiti and other people do, this is their communication. I really appreciate you calling. She's right. At first, I thought she was schizophrenic or something because the phone was hard to hear, and I was like, baby toad. I apologize, ma'am. Thank you for holding to tell us that. Yeah, no, ISIS is just a pure rebranding so that when it comes out, our government funded them, people go, well, that's IS, not Al-Qaeda or ISIS. Ben in Missouri, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, it's good to speak with you again. I had a couple points. I'll get through them quickly. First of all, I met Joe Biggs and Jakari Jackson in Ferguson last week. They're really, really awesome guys. I really enjoyed hanging out with them over lunch.
Aren't they both men's men? It's great to work with great guys like that. They're both class acts.
They really are. Yeah, they really are. The thing that struck me about that was the fact that they were streaming on an iPhone, which the reason why it struck me was because it made me kind of realize that anybody can really be a journalist who really wants to, and people should start doing so. That was the point number one. Point number two is this beheading video. I have this feeling, and I have seen lots of beheading videos just because, you know, that's, I don't know, maybe it's my macabre side appealing to me or something, but I think that video is a little bit too well done, and it is kind of coincidental to me that as the guy is sawing the guy's head off with the knife, and sorry to be graphic to all the listeners, but as he's sawing his head off with the knife, they cut immediately to the head on top of a body. I mean, it looks like a horror movie, but I guess even if it was real or if it's not real, it doesn't matter.
Well, I've seen the full video. So a lot of people say, oh, it's fake because it cuts. No, that's what the news basically put out and what got edited. It looks very cinematic out there in the dunes in the desert. They do all that to be cinematic, to get more crazies to come join them. It's probably real. We know there's been some fake beheadings put on by university students and others a few years ago. We know that hoaxes have been done as well. And Al-Qaeda's done hoaxes, you know, launching chemical attacks to blame it on the Syrian government and Syrian army. So you could be right. I appreciate your call. Great points. Let's talk to Bubba in Virginia. You're on the air.
Alex, thanks for taking my call. I just have a couple of points, too, I'd like to address real quick. One is, we all know how hard 22 ammunition is to find nowadays. So the other day I was actually in a store, and they had several boxes of 22 out, so I was kind of surprised. So I asked the person working there, I said, let me see some of the 22. And the guy says, well, make sure you take a good look at it before you buy it. So I said, what's wrong with it? He goes, it's made out of tin. So because they shut down all of our smelting plants over here, we're buying tin ammunition, while in China they're making the good copper and lead stuff. And the thing is...
That's right. The regulations, I talked about this yesterday, how they're shutting down our beef production. The regulations are so hardcore, there is not one lead-producing facility in the United States that is key to all industrial major activities. We are industrially being set up, and now the ammo we're getting is total crap that doesn't even fire right in the firearms. And now Obama is blocking importation of ammo. You see how that's a checkmate. I mean, this is incredible. And it's not just the ammo, it's everything. They are destroying the country when you look at it as an economist. Go ahead.
So the next thing I want to bring out is all this situation in Ferguson. What this reminds me of is a lot of stuff what happened over in Iran back in the 50s with Kermit Roosevelt going over there and hiring all these thugs and stuff to basically overthrow the government. You can see a lot of the same similarities going on in Ferguson.
Yeah, that's Operation Ajax. In fact, thanks for reminding me. They then double-crossed the radical Muslims who helped bring them to power in the 1953 Operation Ajax. Great point.
Yep. The next thing I'd like to point out is the plug for y'all with the iodine. When I was younger, I lived in New Braunfels right down the road from y'all, and I worked at a place where we raised pigs. So the pigs that were born in the farrowing crate...
Hold on, I want to hear this on the other side. Will you stay a little bit longer, Bubba?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. That's what my sister calls me, is Bubba. That's my nickname. So then it stuck with my parents, and I'm called Bubba. That's a little secret nobody knew. We're going to come back and talk to Bubba on the other side. And then we're going to talk to Mike, Jason, Kyle, Mark, and others. Infowars.com, prisonplanet.com. Bubba, you were telling a story about hogs down in New Braunfels, quaint little German community south of Austin, north of San Antonio, where you grew up. Go ahead and finish your story.
Great place to grow up. So anyhow, it's a kind of a plug and a concern that I have because, like I was saying, so I worked at a place and we were raised hogs. And, well, the ones that were born in it's called a farrowing crate, they weren't born out on the ground. Pretty soon, like within the first week of them being born, we'd give them an iodine shot. Well, when I first started working, I was like, why do you give them an iodine shot? And I said, well, because normally they get it out of the ground and from sucking on their mother, to get it up from the dirt and everything. So you have to give them the iodine shot. And that helps our immune system and everything else. Well, so the iodine you get, I mean, I buy it. I've been buying it since you've had it and everything. Great stuff. A concern, like I said, that I have as well is the fact that anymore, most of our livestock, pigs, chickens, you name it, they're all raised internally in a cage. So they're not on the ground, so they're not getting that iodine in their system. So we're not getting the iodine from the meat products that we buy either, because they're all, fed GMO foods and everything else and not raised naturally at all.
Well, that's right. So, any farmer, any medical doctor, anybody, if you go back 50, 60 years ago, everybody knew about iodine. The Chinese government puts it in their water. They have it added in areas that have iodine deficiencies in the soil. And our government, though, puts the bad halogens in the water instead. So it's a perfect storm. And that's why thyroid problem in women in this country is just epidemic. Look, what we're saying is fact here. The government knows we have iodine deficiencies. They've lowered the allowance they say take down to nothing. Under the UN Codex Alimentarius, they are openly setting it up where they're going to lower the allowances even lower and then not let you get vitamins or minerals that are above that and make it controlled substances. Just, and if government was doing that on one or two things, it'd be like, oh, they're just idiots. No, man, they're doing it on everything. I worked for a large animal vet. He'd go out and say, your cattle need more minerals. And he'd tell them what mineral mix to buy. They won't tell anybody what's going on around here. That's why we have the InfoWars Health products, the InfoWars Life products, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, the X2 Nation Iodine. It's the best out there in my view, bar none. Try it compared to others, folks. It's just incredible. And I'm not differentiating. I mean, we made the iodine market big again. We're not even in competition with the competition. We're really trying to have a revolution here of waking people up. We've already had big companies try to buy us out, want to put it in shampoo and stuff. And just quite frankly, we don't have the supply to be able to even do that. So the whole system knows about all this stuff. And I'm just here to popularize what was known. So I'm really glad you told us that story. A lot of times they give even more minerals to cows. I remember hearing large animal vet I work for talk about this when a bad freeze is coming. Because cows can live in sub-zero temperatures, but if it's like 40 below, like Nebraska, inside a barn, they can still die sometimes. And so when cold weather's coming, they have a certain mix they try to really accelerate to give to the cows. And then when they have the minerals, they don't die. So, I mean, look, having a higher intake of a wide spectrum of minerals must be important if veterinarians 100 years ago were saying, give your cows this salt mix, this mineral mix before the cold weather gets here so they don't die. This is all known. Anything else?
Well, just, a lot of those arts are being lost, too, because the way they're dumbing everybody down. So a lot of those arts are being lost. How to can food, how to take care of yourself, how to do things, how to grow your own garden things. Those are all becoming the lost art. That's why it's really important for people. I know
sure.
The listeners, most of them are part of it.
I think we lost that caller. Well, thank you, sir. We're going to be right back on the other side. Thank you, Bubba. Yes, we should do a whole show on the lost arts. Everything, all the basic knowledge that allowed humans to survive is being taken away. We're being taught Walmart and McDonald's and a MRAP.
We're on the march.
Will save us.